Hey you guys, it's me again. All right, we're just moving right along here. Okay, so I've got all the pages sorted out. Well, sort of. I put, I sorted out all my piles of all the pages that I was gonna, use in each one of these journals. It was kind of confusing because I did have some that were cut to different sizes. So the Grimm's fairy tales and the Anderson's fairy tales, they're a little bit shorter. So I had specifically made some pocket pages shorter for these. They go right to the top. The pages go like right to the top and the bottom. But I think it'll be okay. I've done that lots of times before. I just have to be really careful when I'm binding these that I do it, nice and straight. So anyway, so I've got those, and so where I'm at right now is basically I've got my I just kind of touched up the inside part of the spines on these. I added a little bit more cheesecloth on them, and I just kind of move them around, and if I feel like they're sturdy, then then they're good. If also, like, if there was parts where the cheesecloth didn't stick down all the way or whatever, I kind of touched that up, and then all of the Lands and Peoples ones were actually fine. I didn't cut through the spine on any of those accidentally. Some of the How and Why, I didn't have any other way to really patch these up other than to just put some book tape on them. So this is just book repair tape, and I thought it looks kind of cool on there. So, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm not going to spray these. I'm just leaving them all au naturel. This tape is really, really strong, and it's very, very sticky. Like, I've gotten books from, like old library books that had this kind of tape on them, like down here, and that tape is like really hard to get off. So, I didn't add any glue or anything to it. I just put a piece of tape over it, and I figured sometimes simple is the best way to go. Anyway, so I just thought I would show you guys how I go about organizing my signatures for each of these. The Lands and Peoples books, I decided to go with 4 signatures on these. The fairy tale books, I'm going to do 5 signatures. And I'm going to stitch through the spines because that's just what I like to do. I might do it where I do just like 2 here and 2 up here or something, like maybe try to preserve at least a good section of the spine where you won't have any, any of the stitching showing. But I like to have the stitching showing on my spines. So, so I'm just gonna do that. Now it works out nicely for these because I can do my stitching in this section of the cover, and you won't really even see it. So anyway, so these are going to have 4 signatures. The fairy tale ones are going to have 5. And then the How and Why, I'm just going to go with 2 signatures on these. I think 2. Yeah, 2 signatures. So anyway, so here's where I'm at. So basically, I've got all the pages that I want to include in each journal in a rubber band inside the cover. So I kind of get all of them to that same point, right? And then as I was sorting out my piles, I was taking the cover and just, putting the pages in there just to see how thick it was going to be, and if I had too many pages or not enough pages or whatever. I did wind up going with this, with the kind of contoured pocket with those envelopes. So I made one of those for each one of these journals. And I really like it. I like the way they came out. I left it intact here on the edge, so but it's open here and here and here. So this one, I was going to do a little notch, but I thought, I don't know, I kind of like it without a notch. So anyway, and then I added some, I have these really long manila envelopes, like legal size, legal length envelopes. So I wanted to include one of those. These are really old. And then just some other little paper bags and stuff. So just included what I'm going to use in each one. And I'm also going to add in some other like library pockets and things like that. But I'm not gonna do a bunch of, you know, collaging on them or anything like that. So basically, I'm just going to take my pile here, and I'm just kind of holding it like this, holding it in my hand like this, so I can kind of flip through it. And I'm just gonna sort these out. These are my signatures, okay? So I want to make sure I get a good variety of different pages in each signature. And I'm trying to make sure that I put the same number of pages in each signature. If I have a particular paper that's really thick, then that particular signature might get one less page or something like that. You know, I try to keep them, you know, even as far as the thickness. Also, I'm trying to not have the same type of pages in signatures that are right next to each other, because I want there to be a nice variety of pages as you go through the whole journal, you know. So like you'll see, like I wanted to make sure I had at least one of this type of page in each signature. Okay, so then like these little ones, I don't want to put these right next to each other, so I'm going to put that one there, and then I know I need to add one here and one there to just keep everything even Steven, right? So that's kind of my method. So see, like I don't want to put this one here. I want to put it over here so that it's separated. And I'm also, like I said, trying to make sure that I'm not putting like all like thicker papers in one signature. I'm trying to make sure that I space those out. You can see like that one needs to go there. So you can see that there's some types of pages that I have 4 of in each, for each signature, but there's some that I don't, like I only have like maybe 1 or 2. So then I always kind of go by and I sort of just feel the thickness too, just to be sure. So then I've got some cardstock that I just cut down to use as sort of like the outside pages on the signatures. So I only have 2 for each journal, but I have these other 2 pages. So this is one, this is like a pocket page, but it's a thicker one that I'm going to use on the outside of the signature. And then this one is going to be the first signature, and that's going to be kind of, I solved my problem of trying to have a pocket on the front of the journal, on the front, you know, the front inside of the cover. So that's what I decided to do, is just use that pocket page there. Okay, so then I just want to see how that works out. so these are kind of thicker, so what I'm going to do is just do like that. Okay, this signature feels a little bit thinner, so what I'm going to do is put this there. Okay, so you know, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have one signature a lot bulkier than another. Okay, So you will notice in these that I don't have any coffee dyed paper in these, or a lot of like extra blank paper. The only paper that is really like blank is the like the ledger pages and like the back side of some of these, you know, because those are just printed on one side. Anyway, so then I'm just going to come in. So I'm going to take my, this is the last page I'm going to lay down, because this is going to be the outside page of my signature. So that goes on the bottom of my pile. Okay. And then I'm just going to hold these. Sometimes I do this where I sort them out, and I just like cards, you know, where I make them into piles, and then I just go 1, 1, 1, 1 like that. Where I have like all my blank pages in one pile, and then, you know, decorative pages in another pile, and then I just kind of alternate them. But I'm not doing that with this, because I'm just doing it this way. So I'm going to lay my pages out in the order that I want them to be in my journal. So I try not to put a fragile page in the center of the signature, just because that's where the pages get the most like stress. So I try to put those towards the center of my signatures. All right. So, and then I'm also trying to make sure that there's a good variety of color, and that I don't have all of my book pages. See, this one it's not super fragile, but it's fragile enough that I'm concerned that if I put it in the center of the signature that it'll tear. So, okay, what was I saying? So I'm just trying to alternate and make sure that I don't have the same type of pages all in a row. Okay, and then at some point I want to insert this pocket. Okay, so it's going to go there, and I like to put the pocket pages sort of towards the bottom of the page, you know. So another thing I always think about too is, like, this paper is really thin, and putting it in the journal near this pocket page, I feel like it's going to get beat up. Like it's going to get kind of beat up. So because you'll be constantly coming back to this pocket and pulling things out and stuff, or you might put bulkier items in there, and I think that that's going to add stress onto this paper. So I try to use some kind of paper that's a little bit more durable, like this paper. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm just overly concerned about that kind of stuff, but I'm just telling you how I think about things. This is just kind of what my thought process is. So I try to go like, so that's like a lined piece of paper, and then a book page, and then a blank paper. Okay, and now I can use, I'm also trying to alternate the size of the page. I wish I had some smaller little pieces to add into these, but most of these are larger pieces of paper. So, okay, so then I put that last one on, so that's the outside of my signature. So I'm just going to kind of scooch everything together. I don't want to do it like this, you know, I don't want to tap it like that, because I want my pages to stay in the placement where I had them, you know. So then I can see if I have pages that are going to stick out like really far past that outside page, then I can decide if I want to fold them in, or if I want to trim them off, or whatever. But I want to maintain as much of these pages as I can, so I'm just going to fold them in a little bit. Okay, and that protects them from being damaged. So then this one goes on the bottom of my pile, and then I just go on to the next signature. So this is going to be my outside page, so that goes on the back of my pile. I do sort of like to have some kind of interesting little page right in the center of my signature. I prefer to use something smaller, is what I'm trying to say, on the inside. And then I'll put this little paper bag in. So I wouldn't put like a pocket type page right by that paper bag, right? Because you don't want to have all your pockets and all your pages that are considered like pockets or whatever right next to each other in your journal. You know, you want them kind of dispersed throughout the journal. Even though I'm not a journaler, I am trying to keep in mind how people use journals while I'm putting it together, you know. Just to add some like continuity, like nice continuity, but also variety. Just to make it interesting as you're going through and using your journal. So I'm going to put this pocket page here and then this here. So I didn't want to put this page here because I felt like if this is how they would be in the book, and this is like a flap where somebody might decide they want to, you know, glue a picture on here or something, that it has the potential to sort of snag on this pocket and stuff, like, or if somebody wanted to add like a strip of lace or something on here. I just think that this would be annoying to have this right next to that. So I'm just swapping out the positioning there, right? So now this pocket, there isn't any way that, and nothing is gonna interfere with it. So I'm a little bit neurotic, I guess, but that is something that I try to be aware of, you know, so that people don't get annoyed when they're trying to actually use the journal. So I'm going to put this end paper in the center. Also, like sometimes if there's larger pages that are kind of like wider, you want to try to use those on towards the first pages of your signature. So that means that I would add those in to this stack last, because if they're in the center of the signature, they have a tendency to stick out, and and it makes them sort of like even wider. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. Does that make sense? So like the color of this paper, I'm trying to find something that is gonna sort of contrast with that. So I'm gonna just add that one, and then I'll add this little book page. So I don't want to use a book page. I want to use something, so that is too close to the same color. So I'll add that one. And now I'll put in this little paper bag. So now I can start using my larger pages towards the top of my stack so that I don't wind up having to trim them off. Sometimes if you use wider pages in the center of your signatures, you wind up having to trim them because they wind up sticking out. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. So see what I mean? Like if I put this page, well, let's just move it there for a second so I can show you what I mean. So see how it's just barely sticking out past this page. This is kind of like my protector page. That's the way I look at it. If I move that page And it's not going to be really dramatic, but if I move that to the center of the signature, then it sticks out even more. See what I mean? So that's why I try to use my wider pages towards the center, or towards the outside of my signature, so that that doesn't happen. I don't remember where I had it now, but this looks like a good place. See, and actually now it's totally hidden. So this is the outside of my signature. So that goes in the back. Let's put this nice green paper right in the center. Actually, no. I'm going to put this little guy in the center because I think this would be fun. And it's pretty durable. I'm just kind of layering them up. Now I can do, I think it's safe to add a book page here. These are kind of wide too, but those covers are, the covers are wide, so. Add my envelope. This page, then that page, this page, and this page, and that page. Okay, so everything is nicely protected in there. Okay, so then I'm just going to stack these, kind of scooch them together so they're nice and even, and then stick them inside my cover, make sure that nothing is sticking out, and put its rubber band on. Now it's ready for binding. And then I'll just do the same thing with all of these journals that I kind of have prepped for sorting. Okay, so that's where I'm at. This one, like I said, I think I'm going to do 2 signatures. 3 might be, oh, I don't know. I might do 3 signatures in these. I don't know. I'll have to decide. I'll decide when I'm ready to bind them. But for now, I'm going to sort them into 2 signatures. So anyway, okay. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Leave it in the comments. And then if there's anything else that I need to do before I start binding, I will make another video and kind of let you know what I was doing. But I'm just trying to keep you guys apprised of the situation. But I should be able to get all of these bound in, you know, a day easily. Like, it'll take me a couple hours probably. But yeah, so I think in the next video in the series, we will be binding. And then there's just a couple little embellishment kind of things that I want to make to include in these. And then I need to make up my bundles. Now that I have everything figured out that is going in the journals, well, pretty much everything, then I can make my bundles that are going to go with each one. Because I'm going to include like a kind of like a scrappy bundle with each one of these, where I'll put, like, you know, like flashcards and all kinds of junky stuff in those. And then we get to do some charms to put on these, because I do want to do charms. And I'll probably wind up doing hitch posts on these with like a ball chain closure, because I just really like the way that looks, especially on hardcover big substantial journals like this. So anyway, okay, well, that's where we're at. Can you guys hear Journey? That cat is so funny. He sings. It's like, oh, somebody asked me if he was part Maine Coon. I don't think so. I really don't think he is. I think if anything, he's got some kind of fluffy cat in him, Persian or something like that. I don't know. I was looking at those curly coated Rex. I think it's a curly coated Rex, maybe, that he kind of reminded me of because he's got that curly stuff on his chest. So anyway, who knows? Apparently, he was owned by somebody that had too many cats, and they donated him. So they put him up for adoption. They brought him into the Humane Society, and he had been the kitten of a feral mom. So it was like he was a kitten that they like caught, that was actually wild. So, well, kind of wild. So anyway, so they don't know where he came from either, but they do know when he was born somehow. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to get this video up, and yeah, I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow while I'm binding these, and I'll just kind of go through my process of how I bind larger hardcover journals and talk about where I'm going to do it and my process. So, okay. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for watching. And thanks to all my new subscribers. I was thinking about doing if I can get to 10,000 subscribers, which would be amazing, like blow your mind amazing. I would like to do a giveaway when I get to 10,000 subscribers. So I was looking at my metrics on my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that about half of the people that watched my videos are not subscribers. So if we could get some of those people to subscribe, then we could do a giveaway at 10,000. Okay. And I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something nice. I usually do something pretty nice for giveaways. So anyway, okay, guys, love you. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.